Have you ever felt trapped by the invisible eyes of people around you? Every move you make, every word you speak, seems to echo with one question in the back of your mind. What will they think of me? It's not just you. This silent anxiety controls more lives than almost anything else. But here's what nobody says out loud. The real cost of caring what people think is the loss of your real self. And Carl Jung, the father of modern depth psychology, knew this truth better than anyone. Let's be honest. Most of us are haunted by the urge to fit in. It starts small, with a comment you don't say, an outfit you don't wear, a dream you keep secret. Little by little, the fear of judgment shapes who you become, until one day you realize you're living a life scripted by other people's expectations. But what if that fear isn't just normal? What if it's dangerous? What if it's the main reason you feel anxious, lost, or unfulfilled? No matter how hard you try to do everything right. Today, you're going to see a side of this problem that almost nobody talks about. You're going to understand why caring what people think is the greatest trap of modern life, and how Jung's hidden truth can set you free, even if you've spent years people-pleasing. Look around. People do almost anything to be liked, change their appearance, hold back opinions, even betray their own values. We spend hours on social media, tweaking photos and captions for approval from strangers. At work or school, we avoid standing out, terrified of being judged or left out. At home, we say yes when we mean no, just to avoid conflict. But here's the mind-blowing part. Most of these fears aren't even about real rejection. They're about the stories we create in our heads. We assume others are judging us, when in truth most people are too busy worrying about themselves to notice. Jung called this the collective shadow, the part of society that punishes difference and rewards conformity, even when it kills the human soul. And here's the secret Jung discovered. The more you let others shape your life, the further you drift from who you're meant to be. You don't just lose your voice, you lose your mind. That's why even after doing everything right, you still feel anxious or empty inside, because your soul can't breathe in a mask. Why is this urge so strong? It goes deep, deeper than logic, deeper than childhood. From the moment we're born, we're trained to seek approval. Parents praise us for being good. Teachers reward us for fitting in. Friends judge us for being different. Little by little, we learn to read the room, say what's expected, and hide what's real. By adulthood, we're experts at people-pleasing, even if it means betraying ourselves. Jung saw this everywhere. He wrote about the persona, the mask we wear in public to survive. But beneath the mask is the shadow, the real thoughts, feelings, and desires we keep hidden because we're afraid of being rejected. When we care too much what people think, our shadow grows. We start to feel fake, anxious, and disconnected. But here's the most painful part. No matter how hard you try, you can't please everyone. There will always be critics. There will always be people who misunderstand, judge, or even envy you for being real. Here's the trap. Every time you give in to this fear, you get a quick hit of relief. You avoid conflict. You get a smile or a like. But underneath, you start to disappear. After a while, you may not even know what you really want anymore. Your dreams, your voice, your opinions. They all get buried under the weight of, what will they think? You feel invisible in your own life. Jung called this losing your center. When you live for approval, your life becomes a stage play, someone else's script, someone else's applause. And no matter how hard you try, the audience is never satisfied. The hidden truth, what Jung really discovered. Now here's what makes Carl Jung's wisdom so powerful and so radical. He didn't just say, be yourself. He showed that the path to real freedom means facing your fear of rejection head-on. Jung believed that true happiness, true confidence, comes from what he called individuation, the process of discovering and living as your real self, no matter the cost. But here's the catch. This process isn't comfortable. You have to let go of the need for approval. You have to be willing to be misunderstood, even disliked. Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. But to claim that privilege, you must stop living for the opinions of others." So what does it actually look like to stop caring what people think? Is it possible to break free without losing everyone you care about? What are the exact steps to find your voice, face your shadow, and build the unbreakable confidence Jung talked about? In the next part, we'll go deeper into the practical steps based on Jung's own psychology, so you can start living for yourself, not the crowd. If you've ever wanted real freedom, the kind that can't be taken away by anyone's opinion, don't miss what's coming next. Now that you know how deeply the need for approval runs, and why Carl Jung believed it's the greatest threat to your true self, it's time to break the cycle. This isn't about suddenly waking up one day and not caring what anyone thinks. It's about small, powerful shifts in how you see yourself, others, and the world. Let's go deeper into Jung's psychology and step by step reveal how to find real freedom. The first thing Jung taught is that everyone wears a mask. He called it the persona, the social face we show to the world. Most people believe their mask is their true self, but deep down, it's just a role they've learned to play. The real you, the one who feels things deeply, thinks differently, and sometimes wants to say or do the opposite of what's expected. That's what Jung called the self. The mask helps you survive, but it can never help you thrive. Start by noticing your own mask. When do you act or speak differently because you're afraid of judgment? Is it at work, with friends, on social media, or even with family? Don't blame yourself. Everyone does this, but most never realize it. Simply seeing the mask for what it is, the survival tool, not your truth, is the first step toward freedom. Jung's most powerful and misunderstood idea is the shadow. Your shadow is everything you hide or deny about yourself. Your real opinions, secret desires, past wounds, and even your strengths. Most people push these parts away because they fear judgment. But the shadow grows stronger the more you ignore it. If you never face your shadow, you'll always feel a gap between who you are and who you pretend to be. Facing your shadow means getting honest. What do you really want to say but feel you can't? What dreams have you buried out of fear? What do you judge most harshly in yourself? Jung believed that when you bring your shadow into the light, you reclaim your lost power. The parts of you that once made you feel ashamed can become your greatest strengths, if you have the courage to face them. Why do we care so much what others think? Often, It's because we're chasing an impossible standard, perfection. We think if we act just right, look just right, say just the right thing, we'll finally be accepted. But here's the truth. Perfection is a myth. Even if you reach it, someone will still dislike you. Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." It's terrifying because it means giving up the hope that approval will make you happy. The moment you realize you don't have to be perfect, just real, you begin to breathe again. The pressure lifts. Suddenly, you're free to make mistakes, to be misunderstood, to learn and grow. And that is when your life truly starts. Here's the hard part. Sometimes being true to yourself means disappointing others. You might lose friends, face criticism, or feel alone for a while. But ask yourself, is it worth losing yourself just to please people who only like the version of you that's not real? Jung taught that authenticity is the key to psychological health. When you choose your own values, voice, and direction, even when it's hard, you send a message to your subconscious. My truth matters more than their opinion. Over time, this builds unbreakable self-respect and confidence. It's not about being rude or reckless. It's about quietly, firmly choosing your path. Most of the pain of caring what people think comes from not accepting yourself. You try to earn your worth by earning approval, but it never lasts. Jung's hidden truth is this: the only acceptance that heals you is your own. Practice speaking to yourself the way you would to a friend. It's okay to be different. My feelings are valid. I don't have to be perfect. Each time you accept a part of yourself, even the messy or awkward parts, you weaken the hold of other people's opinions over your life. You can't stop caring what people think if you're always around people who judge, criticize, or compete. Jung believed in seeking soul friends, people who accept your real self and challenge you to grow. If you don't have those people yet, start by being one. Speak honestly. Lift others up for their authenticity. The more real you are, the more you'll attract those who value you for who you are, not just what you offer. Here's the most freeing truth of all. You have no control over what anyone else thinks. Their opinions come from their own fears, backgrounds, and stories. Trying to manage their perception is a losing game. The moment you accept that some people will never understand you, no matter what you do, is the moment you step into real power. Jung wrote, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents." In other words, don't carry the weight of others' dreams or judgments. Live your own life. A practical mini-challenge. For the next 24 hours, catch yourself every time you hesitate because you're worried about what someone might think. It could be a small thing, like voicing your opinion, wearing something bold, or even laughing at the wrong moment. Just notice it. Each time, ask, am I doing this for me or for someone else's approval? If it's for them, try choosing yourself. Just once. Notice how it feels. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Jung believed that being misunderstood is a natural part of individuation. If no one ever misunderstands you, you're probably hiding your real self. True freedom comes when you can let people judge, gossip, or walk away, and stay grounded in your own worth. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and you're no longer weighed down by the question, what will they think? You say what you mean, dress how you like, choose what matters to you. You attract people who love your truth, and you lose the ones who never really knew you anyway. That's not just a dream. It's your future, if you follow Jung's path. But there's still one thing left. How do you keep this freedom, day after day, even when the pressure returns? How do you rebuild your life, your habits, and your mindset, so that caring what people think becomes a thing of the past, not just for a moment, but for good? In the final part, I'll show you how to anchor this new confidence for life and share the one hidden Jung technique that turns self-doubt into unstoppable self-respect. If you've made it this far, you're already different from most people. You're not just looking for quick tips. You want to transform the way you see yourself and the world. Now it's time to make this freedom permanent. No more letting other people's opinions decide your value. No more shrinking yourself for approval that never lasts. Here's how to build a mindset that not only survives the pressure to please, but thrives on being real, just as Carl Jung intended. Freedom from caring what people think isn't just a one-time insight. It's a habit. It's something you must choose over and over until it becomes automatic. Let's look at how you can make this a part of your everyday life. 1. Start every day with your own intention. Before you reach for your phone, before you check notifications or messages, pause. Ask yourself, what matters to me today? Write down one thing that reflects your truth, a value, a goal, a feeling. This could be, speak my truth even if my voice shakes, or wear what makes me happy, not what's expected. By setting your own intention, you remind your subconscious that your opinion matters more than anyone else's. 2. Practice self-approval in public. Throughout your day, notice when you start to act for someone else's approval. Maybe you're about to change your opinion to fit in, laugh at something you don't find funny, or hide your true feelings. Catch yourself in the moment. Mentally say, it's okay if they don't like it, I do. Over time, this simple act will retrain your brain to seek your own validation first. 3. Turn social anxiety into curiosity. Instead of fearing judgment, get curious about it. Ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about their opinion? Often, we imagine harsh judgments that never actually happen. Try gently testing your fear. Say the thing you're afraid to say. Wear what you want. Let your real laugh out. Most people will either not notice or respect you more for your confidence. And if someone judges you, that's proof they're not part of your real tribe. 4. Create a safe space for authenticity. Make at least one area of your life a judgment-free. It could be a journal, a hobby, or time with one real friend. This is where you practice being 100% yourself. Express thoughts, ideas, and dreams with zero filter. Jung believed that creativity and true connection flourish only where the shadow can step into the light. 5. Celebrate small acts of courage. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, celebrate it, no matter how small. Smile at yourself, write it down, share it with someone you trust. These moments are like deposits into your self-respect account. Over weeks and months, your confidence grows, not from applause, but from knowing you were real. Building a new identity, from approval seeker to individual. You can't create lasting change if deep down you still see yourself as a people pleaser. Jung taught that our identity is shaped by our choices. Each time you risk being misunderstood in order to be true, you send a new message to your subconscious. I am the kind of person who lives by my own truth. That identity shift is everything. Soon, you'll find that the opinions that once haunted you start to lose their power. Instead, you'll attract new friends, new opportunities, and a new level of inner peace, just by being real. No matter how authentic you become, criticism and judgment will still happen. The difference is how you handle it. Jung taught that everyone projects their own fears and insecurities onto others. So when someone attacks your choices, ask, is this really about me or about them? Are they reacting to my truth or running from their own? Most criticism is not a mirror, it's a projection. Thank them in your mind for showing you who's not meant for your journey. Here's a powerful practice Jung recommended, but rarely shared. Regularly do something that's true for you, even if you know it won't be popular. It can be small. Sharing your real opinion on a post. Choosing a creative outfit. Saying no to an invite you don't want. Afterward, reflect. Did the world end? Did you lose what matters most? Usually, you'll discover the freedom was worth it. Every time you do this, your inner respect for yourself grows, and the fear of what others think shrinks. One of the greatest gifts you can give the world is your true self. When you show up, unfiltered, you inspire others to do the same. You give people permission to drop their own masks. Jung believed that when even one person lives authentically, it has a ripple effect that can change families, workplaces, and even societies. At first, being true to yourself might feel lonely. Some friends may drift away. You may face awkward moments or tough conversations. But loneliness is often the birthplace of your strongest connections. When you stop blending in, you become visible to the people who truly get you. The right tribe finds you when you stop hiding who you are. Most people spend their lives chasing approval, but never feel truly seen. The moment you stop caring what people think, you become magnetic. You stop trying to impress and start to express. You stop chasing and start attracting. Friends, partners, opportunities that match your real self. And that's the freedom no one talks about. It's not loud or flashy. It's a quiet, powerful sense that you belong to yourself. If this message spoke to you, if you're ready to drop the mask and live as your real self, let me know in the comments. Share your story, your struggle, or even one small step you're taking today. I read every comment, and your courage could inspire someone else. And if you want more videos about psychology, Carl Jung, and the real freedom that comes from living true, subscribe and join this community. Every mind here is a rare mind. Thank you for watching, for thinking deeply, and for being brave enough to become who you truly are.